Hi, I'm Jerry Parisi. Join Tom Neely and Tommy Marr right here on Cablevision Channel 20 each week for an interesting episode of The Long Island View.
I am Tommy Marr,
otherwise known as the Maverick Soul,
and I am live in the Madhouse
for my show, Maverick Soul Hour.
Come and join us. It's the place to be.
Right here on Madhouse TV, Sunday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we will put you out to the entire world.
You got that right.
Finally, the time has come. You no longer have to choose between conventional medicine and alternative medicine. Today, unlike years past, your team of doctors from all disciplines are working together side by side for the benefit of you, the patient, to help you regain your health and cross the bridge.
Why are you playing with your toys?
I watched Madhousetv.
Humbug. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Filmmaker Show. I'm Jerry Parisi. I have my host, Michelle Parisi, here tonight, and we have a wonderful filmmaker guest, true to the words filmmaker tonight. That would be Carmine Caradona. And before we begin our show, I just want to tell you that the show following this one is going to be a really interesting one because we've got clips from Legal Straight Talk, we've got clips from The Bridge to Health, and clips from The Long Island View. And I bring this up because proudly, our 4 shows are back on Channel 20, and there are different times for each of them, and Legal Straight Talk and Bridge to Health, well, I want to just proudly brag that they are now in prime time because of the great type shows they are and the incredible viewership they are. I'm also very, very proud that the Filmmaker Show, that's mine, now airs one day throughout all Long Island at one time as a daytime talk show. The Filmmaker Show now on Channel 20 at Mondays, 2 p.m. everywhere on Long Island. Not to forget the Long Island View, also airs on Monday in popular times and in prime time as well. So, with that, Michelle, what do you think of my Woody Allen haircut from the shoot last week? You like it or what?
I do. I like it. I'm getting used to it.
I got to tell you, the long hair's gone. I think
since Cindy colored it, it's all good.
And speaking of color, Carmine Caradona, how do you keep that beautiful tan? Is that because you're a good and successful filmmaker or what?
No, because Sicilian. Being Sicilian, I guess I walk out in the sun.
Wait a second. Aren't you Sicilian?
I'm Sicilian. What happened? I got no sun to this week.
You have to go out in the sun to retain
You have to
the
go
sun.
out in the sun, Jerry.
Oh, because I was...
So since you're glued to the computer, editing film and television shows, and being on sets, and being round-the-clock work, you don't get tan.
She's so right. And so I guess I would lead in with you. You've got some great stuff going on in film festivals. And I'm very envious because I'm on bus signs and I'm on ads and covers of newspapers and I'm on TV and I'm in the movies.
And magazines.
Magazines. I can't forget the magazine. I am not in one of your shorts. What's going on with that?
Well, everything is like in pre-production right now. That's what it is. So.
That's the way we get them, Michelle. We bring them onto the show, put them on in front of so many 100,000 people, and there you go. But tell us all about some of your shows. And then we got some great clips, too.
Right. Well, I got the Left Hand Secret Agent that's trying to bring everybody back to the matte helm in like Flint movies.
Okay.
Yeah, so it has a little cam to it and everything.
Nice.
The coloration is going to be not like today's coloration. It's going to be like that old 70s type look.
Yeah, that vivid hueish kind of look.
Yeah, well, it's going to have like real clean color though.
Right.
But
right.
it's not going to have like what you see now. That's the way I want it, nice and bright. I want a tropicalness because that's, well, you're saying my tan, because I love Florida.
Did we book that cruise yet, me and you?
Not quite yet.
Oh, yeah, not yet. I guess we have to work. That's why.
You know what? He hates the winter.
You hate the winter?
I can't stand the winter.
Not half as much as me. No, 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 no. I even unfriended Mother Nature, and Father Time, you're not looking good either. I just want to point that out. I can't stand the winter. My Mustang doesn't like the winter.
Right.
Movie companies don't like the winter. Traveling to sets really don't like the winter. And it's scary. You're driving in a car and you can kill yourself.
I draw palm trees in the snow.
I saw that.
You saw that?
I saw that. You walked in and you did.
Well, that wasn't me. Somebody who knows me in Florida sent that to me. He says, "Come on, you're going to love this one."
So wait, let me get this straight. That little video I saw of you that created the outline of palm trees.
No, that wasn't me.
In the snow. Somebody did that.
Yeah, somebody did that.
Somebody
but sent it to me.
You reposted it.
Yeah, I reposted it because they sent it to me.
He said, repost it, darling. It's almost like a reporter. Yeah. Tell us about the other movie we're going to see some clips about.
You're going to see Java Time, which is a minute. I came up with that idea quick because I like to drink some espresso all the time. So I figured, well, let me film it being made.
Oh,
so
like a little bit of a Java commercial.
Yeah, it's like a little commercial, and it like quickly goes through, and then it goes into effect where when you're waiting for the coffee to fall, how slow it comes down.
Yeah.
So it goes. This image goes like it's hypnotizing you as it comes down, and that's what that was a minute. That's in a festival. It's in 4 festivals already. It's in Rome. Of course, it goes Rome.
Probably going to get more tan there, yeah.
Yeah, they like that stuff. I didn't even know it went over there, and everybody's telling me, well, they drink. Maybe I says, yeah, maybe they did it over there. So that was the other one.
Babe, that's like The Hidden with us. We're in a movie, The Hidden, and really it was shot. Parts of it were here, but it really played in Peru, and it's got a run out there and everything. I've never seen it. I just watched some clips of me and know that a lot of Peruvians know me too. I tell you what, without any further ado.
Unless they cut the scene, I'm in that too.
What? They'd never cut us out.
I don't know.
They better not. But
anyway, I was wondering how you got into filmmaking.
Oh, when I got into filmmaking, I started like in 1973. I made my first film. It was a regular 8 film. So I had to wind up doing it. It was a karate film, of course. I was doing karate since 1970. So I figured, let me do it. And I got everybody in the neighborhood to do it, to help me out. I had the lights, we had everything. It was like a whole big thing going on. And I did that thing, and it's a classic right now. It's called Face the Wind.
Face the Wind.
I have it on YouTube in 4 parts. I'm trying to bring it together and put sound effects to it because now I know how to do all that.
You probably could at this point. You could probably load it up. There was a time YouTube only accepted a certain amount of minutes. Now it's more. But you know what? Let's watch some of these things so we can elaborate on them. And the first one is the left-handed detective.
The left-handed secret agent. I'm left-handed.
Left-handed secret agent.
I'm left-handed too.
Yeah, you're left-handed too. So we have a lot of problems. You're not going to see it here, but in the script that's being we're going through the problem. You're just going to see the locales in this. You're just going to see a little thing, because this guy, he's an older secret agent that they brought back, but he has a lot of different powers that nobody knows of.
There you go. All right, the left-handed secret agent.
Yes, sir. I understand. I'll bring you all the information as soon as I get it.
Well, I got to say, that looked pretty interesting. I certainly would like to have been on that beach when you were shooting. It looks really interesting. And give us a synopsis what that movie's about, The Left-Handed.
Well, the Left-Handed is about, there's something happens, not to give everything away, something happens that the agents in the field can't use them anymore. So they have to go to a retired agent who knows how to do things old school. And they go to this person who was like really big in his time.
Okay.
And he is reluctant to do the job, but the president, of course, calls him, and in his chamber, you saw the chamber where he's floating, that's the chamber that he goes in to meditate and do everything. So then he comes out of retirement, and they're trying to show him things, and he says, no, I got my own stuff, because he's left-handed. I mean, there's a lot of stuff he can't do. In fact, you ever notice with a left-hander, when they write something out, you get all the ink on your hand, so everything comes, all messy.
Well, wait a minute now.
Yeah.
Miss Left-Handed Wife.
Yes.
Is that true? Let me see your sleeve. Show, audience, do you see?
I don't see any ink.
Well, did you write with ink today?
No.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. So that's an interesting, so that's a trailer. Where are you with shooting that movie?
We're going to be shooting in parts where you saw that. It's going to be like in Florida.
Nice.
That's going to be, we want to go down there. I might shoot some up here,
Got it.
some of the inside, because he gets tested by one of the superiors. I don't think he can do it. But when you see my martial arts background that I put you, I'm using that, and there's a lot of things that you're going to see.
Are you the left-handed agent?
Well, I was going to get somebody to play a younger version, but everybody was telling me, well, why don't you do it? Because I know, all the moves, all the karate kung fu moves I can use. And he says, and we could write a story about an older guy that nobody would think could do anything.
Nice.
And then the older guy's going like, I mean, there's a scene where, and women attract to him for something, and he's very respectful for the
right
women.
There. Don't hit him. Go ahead. I'm talking about an instance that fans had met me or seen me, and I just felt so bad for my wife. But go ahead, back to you, and the women are after you. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's how he is. It's like he meets as he's going to see. He sees one of the secretaries goes by, and then he winds up at dinner with her.
Nice.
Oh yeah, this guy, the older guy, but he has a gentleman toward
Sure.
with him.
Like all of us older gentlemen, we keep
Right.
getting these younger girls. Don't ask me how that happens. I don't. Don't worry about it. She's got a stick, boy. But she'll say to me, don't say that. What are some of your questions about this movie?
Now I'm a little perplexed.
All right, so you know what?
Is this a movie short? Or
No, it's going to be a full-length
feature-length
movie.
a full
Yeah, there's going to be a full-length movie. That was just a trailer.
Right. Who's going to distribute this?
I haven't gotten to any of that point. It's still in pre. I have a screenwriter.
All right.
I just signed her on. That's Lisa Stillwood.
Okay.
Stillwell. Lisa
right.
Stillwell. She's I'm reading one of her screenplays right now.
All right.
So I might get her onto it. And I have a few other people we haven't really casted or presented. It's in the festivals right now to get known.
So the trailer is in the festival.
The trailer's in the festival.
Got it.
The other thing is in pre-production. It
Got it.
hasn't even been done. But the trailers I shot, put together a trailer. It moved up second in the one of the festivals. It just moved today. It moved into second. It's been like 4 other festivals. It seems like everybody's trying to, somehow this concept is kicking off a little bit when I explain it.
Nice. Let's see the other clip, the Java Time. Is that it?
Right, Java Time.
Let's see Java Time, so we go on to that. I think we got to...
I suddenly have a desire to drink
I was going to go, let's
coffee.
go get Starbucks or something tonight. Okay, Channel 20, when you're watching this later, that wasn't a commercial. It's like a little disclaimer.
You got to cut out the Starbucks.
Yeah, we
comments.
got to... Now we have strict rules on the different shows, what we do. Now, what made you come up with an idea to demonstrate how long coffee takes to do? It's sort of like waiting for a watch pot to boil, you know?
Right. Well, what you just said right there is
There you
everybody
go.
has that thing. So I figured, I drink the coffee. I says, well, let me put this, cut it down to a minute. I know there's minute festivals out there.
All right.
And I figure I cut it down to a minute, and then I put it in the festivals, and they hit like 4 of them already.
Nice.
4 of them, they're in the 4 festivals already, that too.
I want to ask you a question because it seems to be appropriate. How do you get these into the festivals? A lot of filmmakers will ask us that question. So give me a good idea. How do you get these in festivals?
Well, I had a friend in Miami who came up. He's doing his 2nd festival. He's running the festival. So he turned me on to Film Freeway.
Film Freeway.
So when you go on Film Freeway.
Film Freeway. Okay, got
Right,
it. Filmfreeway.com?
Yeah.
Okay, filmfreeway.com.
And when you go on to that, they have, you fill out an application and you put in, everything is from the internet, and they have different festivals listed. They have a list of festivals.
That's pretty cool. Filmfreeway.com. Filmfreeway.com. Okay.
Do people have to submit?
You submit it, has to get accepted. It's
Right.
not everything you put in.
Right, sure.
So there's deadlines. You get into deadlines.
Is there
then you
a fee?
Some of them have fees, some of them don't have fees, But I like to start with the little ones and build my way up. You go into big ones, they don't know you, just like nobody knows me at this point. So that's how you get known. Now I'm getting for more. They contacted me from the Hong Kong festival. They put me in a Hong Kong festival right now.
Okay.
Do they have parameters, like to say to apply to be in this film festival? These are the kind of films we're looking for?
They have different categories. They have short, they have 1 minute, they have this. You still got to submit. I mean, you could get, disqualified out if it doesn't fit their criteria.
What kind of criteria?
Well, each festival has a different type of thing. It could be a horror festival, it could be that festival, it could be another festival. So you got to read. A couple of them I had a little mishap. I put one of the films in there in a horror one. It wasn't even a horror one. So it went a little bit, though. It started making waves. Somehow the guys who run the festival liked it because I put a lot of blood in it. So,
Yeah, that could be
Okay.
it.
Yeah, that
That's
could be
fine.
it.
That could be
But
like
it
blood,
didn't.
horror.
It didn't last. It didn't last.
All right.
that
Well,
much.
you know, that's what it's all about. It's
Right.
You got to build up a little bit of a track record. Who finances your movies?
Me.
So you basically keep it on the shorter side
Right.
because you're not a billionaire, I guess.
No.
Michelle's
no
a
way.
billionaire.
Oh yeah.
When did that happen? While I was out at work
Well, just
today?
look at the apartments you're in. Look outside your window here. That's
Yeah,
this
you
is
got
our
nice.
beautiful-
You got nice scenery.
It's
out
nice
there.
scenery. Yeah. I actually couldn't wait to see it today. I was bored without my wife. I only went to 90 million meetings. But speaking of meetings, do you have to go to a lot of those to get everybody together on the page to know what we're doing? And I mean, do you plan your pre-production meetings? Give me a ball of
Well,
idea how you
lately,
start.
the way I've been doing my meetings is through the internet. That's the only way I
Okay.
can meet with these people. I meet with the people. My friends, they're in Florida, so we
Okay.
Skype with each other and
Nice.
talk, and they give me things. But I run everything. I did the lighting, I did the editing, I did the financing.
What do you edit on? What program?
iMovie right now.
iMovie.
They keep telling me to move up on that, but right now I says, well, let me get everything in iMovie. I'm starting to get the feel of it, putting everything together. So
It's actually very popular to edit now, more than ever before. Final Cut is what we use too. But
Right,
I've got
that's
to
like the-
admit,
that's
there are
the
times
best.
we use iMovie for these shows. It's just because of timing and burning and issues of really deadlines. That's the thing. A lot of people use Adobe Premiere.
Right.
A lot of people use Avid. And then my friends over at ABC TV's Channel 7, Donnie, he uses something just made right for Channel 7. The Grassroots something. I forget the name of it. It's interesting.
Right.
What's your favorite part of filmmaking?
editing, I would say.
You like the editing the best?
I like the editing because I could take a film and I can do what I want with it. I could take parts out, parts in.
You can move
add
them
this-
around too.
Yeah, I can change everything around.
Sure.
Like I said, I was producing something. My friend sent me up all this thing. It's called S.J. Cooper Meets Shiny Chris.
Okay.
That's a real weird one. Now, I put together that one. That one's crazy. But I put it together. I didn't film any of it, but I put it all together, did all the editing on it.
Well, that's
Thank you.
interesting. That's pretty cool, you know. I don't know. I mean, I guess we've gone to a few film festivals. I know some are really sanctioned by certain organizations.
Right.
And then some are just basically there to have them. And how do you choose wisely which ones you determine yours are going to go into?
I read about what it's, the whole festival. They have it on, they have their festival, and they have what it, all about, and they have the festival on there. So I read the whole festival, and I see which one's on that. Film Freeway is supposed to be very, very good with everything. I mean, they're like secure and everything on what they put out.
Nice. Nice.
So
And
that's
what are
why
the-
I'm on there.
What are the price ranges in some cases, I'll assume, to allow yours to go onto certain things? There must be some sort of a price structure, is there?
In Film Freeway, they have anything from 0 price to $350. The Hong Kong one that they wanted from me, that was a $350, and they waived the cost on that. So I don't know where that's going to go and why they wanted that. But this was another one I got expect delays. One my friend puts out, it's a short movie, and it's starring a friend of mine that's in there who is a movie star, Antonio Cerrone.
Okay.
He's in that one.
Nice.
And they shot that down in Florida. They sent me the copy because it seems like some people gave up on it. So I re-edited it, had it re-edited and put it back on the market.
Nice.
And now it's starting. That's in Switzerland too. And then Hong Kong wanted it.
That's interesting. I guess they really love those shorts, the different film festivals. I don't have enough experience in them to know what you're saying, but I think that they're wonderful. I did, many years, Michelle and I attempted the Belmore.
Right.
With the wonderful people over in the Nassau County area. Respectfully, Deborah Markowitz and her team put together some wonderful things. I've never been at the Gold Coast, but we did do Belmore. And of course, Michelle and I, this city, that's a different story. It's just a different animal.
Right.
So we'll go into the city for that.
We did Willie Fest as well.
Oh, yeah, we did Willie Fest one year. That's right,
Right.
Willie Fest. That was interesting, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
That was actually pretty great.
Yeah, I have a film in the L.A. Sin Fest.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah.
Sinfex. That shit.
That's
what.
what,
Is that?
in fact, that's in it. Lieutenant Secret Agent was accepted in that trailer.
Wow.
It's in the trailer part.
Have you ever been to NAPD?
To which?
To
NAPD.
NAPD in Florida.
Nah.
What does that stand for? The National
The National
Association
of Television Producers, something, NATPE. What that is a professional situation.
Right.
That's not for just everybody. In fact, the fact that tickets are something to the effect of between 1,500 and 2,000, somebody told me, and I've never been there yet, but we intend on going with some of our shows this year.
Right.
You can walk into, I believe, the Fountain Blue. It's in Miami. It's in
Oh, I know that.
January.
Yeah.
And that it's not a festival. That's literally a trade show.
Right.
That's where the distributors and the O&Os, owner-operateds, for those of you who don't know,
Right.
will buy on consignment your shows. Not every single television show or station in America is tied to the flagships. And, of course, the flagships
Right.
are out of New York City and Los Angeles. And no matter how you cut it, that's all they are. Those are the flagships. Everybody else is an owner-operated or a private station, and they use the feeds from the national flagships. That's the way that's done.
Right.
So speaking of flagships and TV, I just want to bring up a couple of little things before we say so long to you and hopefully have you back on our show.
Right.
I want to just mention that tonight we watched a great episode of Legal Straight Talk, and I'm kind of partial to that, Bridge to Health and, of course, The View, because we are involved in all those shows.
Right.
But it was an interesting thing that Brett Harrison said today, because they had some of the attorneys on that talked about debt collection. And do you know people still believe that there's a debtor's prison? Ladies and gentlemen, this is why you got to watch Legal Straight Talk, because there is no thing. And you can, when these debt people call you, and if they call you, make deals. Hang up on them. Put them on the phone for 6 months and say, hi, you're back. Maybe now you want to work with me. Don't be nice. They're only $8 an hour people, and it's their job, and they don't even know half the time what they're talking about. It's a written piece. Beyond that, Bridge to Health, some of the other great things, we'll be on the next show. So if you're watching us on Channel 20, we'll see you next week with that show. But if you're on Madhouse TV, which we are on right now, with Mr. Carmine Caradonna and Mrs. Michelle Parisi, who I'm so proud of.
And we're so glad that you came down.
Right.
And we had a chance to interview you.
Right.
That's right. And
I had
invite
a
you
chance
back.
to meet you, and had a chance to meet you.
Me too.
Maybe
And-
next time I show you some of my martial art ability.
And that would be great. And with that,
Yeah.
we'll see you in a few minutes right here on Madhouse TV. Don't go away. And as I said on Channel 20, if you're watching us there, then we'll see you next week. Carmine, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you,
Michelle,
too.
thanks for helping us. Always,
Right.
you never get enough things. With that, Janine Zarelli, Vicky Mealy, Tom Mealy, and Tommy Moore, the four people who put together the greatest internet station here on Long Island, and I dare say, and I've ever seen around the United States. Madhouse TV, thanks for watching us. Hi, I'm Jerry Parisi. Join Tom Mealy and Tommy Marr right here on Cablevision Channel 20 each week for an interesting episode of The Long Island View.
I am Tommy Marr,
Otherwise known as the Maverick Soul.
and I am live in the Madhouse.
For my show, Maverick Soul Hour.
Come and join us. It's the place to be.
Right here on Madhouse TV, Sunday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we will put you out to the entire world.
You got that right.
Finally, the time has come. You no longer have to choose between conventional medicine and alternative medicine. Today, unlike years past, your team of doctors from all disciplines are working together side by side for the benefit of you, the patient, to help you regain your health and cross the bridge.
Why are you playing with your toys?
I watching Madhousetv.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Filmmaker Show second season. And tonight, I have Michelle Parisi with me and nobody else.
Hi. How
Hi,
are
babe.
ya?
We're going to go to dinner tonight, right?
That's right.
We are. But do you know why we're here tonight? Tell them. Oh, because we
Because
decided.
it's Wednesday night.
Oh, that's it.
And it's time for show number 2.
Now, you know, one of the reasons we're on here tonight alone is to actually talk about Madhouse TV. And you'll always hear me say, thank you, Vicki Mealy, Tom Mealy, Janine Zarilli, Tommy Marr. Those are the owners of this corporation, and it is a wonderful internet station. And together, they put together a tremendous product. Not that all of the different 35-plus some shows don't have a hand in doing something for their shows. We happen to be lucky and blessed and given the opportunity to be able to produce the shows for Channel 20 as well. Now, Channel 20. Everybody's like, where's Channel 20? How is it? Well, first of all, we run globally here on the internet, but we run locally on all of Long Island, Channel 20, and of which we have 4 shows that those shows run on Channel 20, correct?
Right. They get originally filmed here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you edit them.
That's right.
And then they get put on all across Long Island.
That's true. But let me say something about the shows. It's no easy feat, and while Michelle gives me the opportunity to say, yes, I do edit them as well and do the trafficking and the paperwork, there isn't just one person who puts these shows together. In fact, tonight we're going to talk a little bit about the shows themselves, because we're a filmmaker show, and
Right,
the shows
we're
are
making
filmmaking,
film.
and that's what we got to do. So, Michelle, let's talk first about Legal Straight Talk. Quick, what do you think about that one?
I think it's great. I think that Brett does a great job of taking and demystifying
The law.
The law.
Yeah, yeah.
And he gets wonderful lawyers to come on.
Wait, he gets them or do I get them?
Well, technically,
I get them.
well, a lot of good lawyers go on the show.
That's a good way of putting it.
And Brett has a very good way
He does.
of getting people to
talk. And so does Tom. When Tom does Legal Straight Talk, it's a different perspective. But Tom is still very good with it. I mean,
Absolutely. But just more recently, I've seen more of Brett doing it.
it's
So
only because
Brett
of the
comes to
workload
mind.
at the law
Yes.
group is my
Sure.
impression.
Sure.
Legal Straight Talk, an amazing show. It demystifies the law, and it's on, I will give you the times in a little bit, in prime time on Channel 20. Bridge to Health, another brilliant primetime show now from Madhouse on Channel
Well,
20.
I think what's brilliant is what Tom Dow is doing in the first place, that he's taking alternative medicine and bringing traditional medicine together to benefit the patients.
He really does.
yeah.
That's a great way of mixing that together. And the Long Island View. You just happen to be on that. We've got some clips coming up in a few moments.
The Long Island View is wonderful because for people who are doing really wonderful things for people on Long Island, it's a great way for them to showcase what it is they're doing.
And that's great words that you just put in showcasing Long
That's right.
Island. And that's what Tommy Marr and Tom Mealy put together, a magazine show. And I should mention that the way it's deemed is that Legal Straight Talk and Bridge to Health are shows that are informative, whereas The View, Long Island View, and of course my show here, The Filmmaker Show, are more magazine and more laid back and enjoy yourself show. Well, let's do this. We've got some clips for the next many minutes. I want to say 8 or so minutes. Please enjoy some of the shows. We've left the theme songs on from everybody because we'd like to give those credits to the musicians as well. So sit back, watch a few clips of shows, and we'll be back to talk more about it right here on The Filmmaker Show.
Is this reality? No, I don't feel okay. I need my kaleidoscope of colors to lead the way. I'm riding in my car and I'm coming on around the bend. It's a chase, this twisted race. I'll be on top again. I'm not going
Welcome to Legal Straight Talk. I'm Brett Harrison from the Harrison Law Group. And today again we have Ron Fatula, an elder law attorney. Ron, thanks for coming again.
Oh, it's great to be back.
I want to get it right into it with you again.
Let's go.
I'll try not to be as heated. But, you know, last time we talked a little bit about healthcare proxies and power of attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
Quite honestly, it's legal talk again that's confusing.
Right.
What is a healthcare proxy and how is it different than a power of attorney?
Absolutely. Very, very different. So let's start off. We spoke about the power of attorney, I think pretty much in depth last time. Power of attorney is where an individual gives the right to someone else to manage their financial affairs. When we do elder law planning, that power of attorney should be modified in many, many different ways for someone as they get older. It's very, very important to have a modified power of attorney.
Meaning?
Well, you want to add provisions regarding Medicaid, protecting the home, estate planning, the right to make gifts up to an individual's comfort level.
Bridge to Health, right here on Long Island Public Access, Channel 20.
Finally, the time has come. You no longer have to choose between conventional medicine and alternative medicine. Today, unlike years past, your team of doctors from all disciplines are working together side by side for the benefit of you, the patient, to help you regain your health and cross the bridge.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tom Dow. I've been a practicing chiropractor for the past 32 years and have seen many, many, many things change in the healthcare field, a lot of it for the better. Most patients are used to going to different doctors at different locations, and unfortunately, most of the time, these doctors really don't communicate with one another about what's going on with the patient. At our offices here on Long Island, under one roof, most of our team of doctors on a daily basis communicate together about the patient and offer the best that each discipline has to offer, constantly communicating and constantly refining the treatment plans which are best for the patient. This weekly program, which you're about to see, will feature guests from both conventional medicine and alternative medicine, and we're going to show you how both disciplines are now working together for you, the patient. I'd like to welcome back our guest, Dr. David Gentile. Hi, Dave.
How you doing, Tom? Honored to be back, by the way. This is awesome. And I'm glad you're getting this out because this is really important information for people to understand. And I love the name of the show. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. So Dave, I know, Dr. Gentile, I know you're into a lot of really interesting things. You're a cook, you're a chef. You have your own cooking show, yes. And you're into some very interesting cutting-edge medicine today. Yes. Now, you're a doctor of osteopathy, yes. which is a primary care physician. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, it's a physician, but you really don't do primary care medicine,
That's
correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Tom Mealy. Welcome to another edition of the Long Island View, and we're proud to have part 2 of the series we had last week, Children with Autism, and we have in the studio here Diane Porter and Michelle Parisi. Welcome back to the show.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
You know, a lot of things I needed to ask you last week that I didn't have the ability to, and I want you know, why do you have to do this? Why? Tell me. Keep the cameras going, please. Get that moot. Why do you have to do this? Okay, keep them going. and different forms of autism. You know, you have very mild, where it's almost impossible to tell if a child has any type of a disability, and then you have up to the very severe. I noticed that in society today, and I don't know whether it's because of technology, but when I was growing up, we never heard of this. And now you told us last week that 66.
1 out of 66.
One out of 66. Mm-hmm. That's staggering. That's not a small number. That's huge.
It's a spectrum disorder.
Is it just because of what's happening now? Or tell me what's causing this.
Some of it, they don't know what it's causing it. Some of it is the change of diagnostic criteria. So there's more people included in that. Years ago, the kids that were on the spectrum and they were severe, they weren't around. They were in places like Willowbrook.
Institutions.
So they were not at home. So it's only because of some of the new regulations and the new...
People talk about vaccines. People talk about different drugs that were given to adults early on. Mm-hmm. Do you think that has any effect on children today?
I think they look at all of that. I think they look at all of that. And it could be that there's a predisposition for someone to have it, and possibly one theory is that the vaccinations can trigger it. But they don't really know.
When do you know a child? When do you know that a child has this disability, whether severe or mild?
Well, sometimes parents suspect that something's not right because they have a niece or a nephew or another child, and they go to the pediatrician and they say something's not right, and they go like this. They say, they poo-poo it, and they say every child develops at their own rate, and kind of pushes it aside.
Well,
and
don't you think on the other side of the coin too that a lot of parents or outside it, maybe within the family, think a kid is, they're all jumping the gun that, oh, he has autism.
Absolutely.
That seems to be like they're jumping the gun a little too quick too.
Absolutely.
Teach.
That's what we teach. We would teach the wait staff on why to do it. How bad would it be if every single food chain you walked into for a particular name said, this is the way we're going to keep this consistent, so that whether you're on the spectrum or not, it doesn't matter. It's good for all customers. So, go ahead.
The way I see it is the goal down the road is to train the world.
Exactly.
The world to deal with these.
Absolutely.
And what you're doing now is you're planting little seeds and hoping that this
Yes.
grows.
Do you think that eventually is going to...
Watching these clips, it just brings forward how much we've got so much going on in this filmmaking stuff.
Oh.
That you're doing an incredible amount of work.
Well, the team does a lot of work. And in a few minutes, you're going to hear the team, because this is the first time I want to know how many people are involved with something like this.
Right, but I'm just looking at all these shows that are being put together, and the amount of time that I know it takes for you to do all of this.
I think we had a meeting today, and actually it was a funny thing, speaking of time, they actually didn't believe how much time it takes. They still don't. Maybe we'll put together a filmmakers and watch me do it kind of thing.
I think I'm going to videotape you there for hours, and getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're nowhere but at
well,
the screen.
It has to happen because there's the time constraints of cable. But let's talk about some of the things that we got here. Go ahead.
One of the things that I think is important for the audience to know is, where did all that music come from?
And you know what? That's a great question. So let's talk about the music. The first music, which is not only an incredibly great record, was made by Camille Rotolo, and she goes by the name Camille Saturday, and Irv Berner. They are, though, both the composers and the musician, and Camille sings the song Legal Straight Talk, which is really entitled The Whole 9 Yards. That song was laying around from Here's to Us days, and we didn't have a place to put it, but how well it worked the day or after several days that we worked within the Harrison Law Group and shot that beginning. Mm-hmm. That's not a template, ladies and gentlemen. People wonder, is this a template? No, none of these are templates. These things are shot, created for the shows. In fact, with Legal Straight Talk, we're going to be doing something fresh. And did you know, not only do we do the new beginnings with Jackie as the new Legal Straight Talk girl, who is also Dr. Dow's girl, and she'll be ours as well, but Jackie and I will be doing a mini pilot for Legal Straight Talk with asking people on the street, for example, do you know anything about debtor's prison? Or will someone go? And she'll ask them. And that'll be picked up by the lawyers who will elaborate on those different questions.
And that's a great beginning for the law show.
The law show is moving up because it has a tremendous following, Legal Straight Talk. Now, I will say this. Our theme song, which is beautiful, and Bridge to Health, and by the way, Under the Big Sky, which I do not produce for cable, but Violet Licari does, Violetta Anna Licari, that song came from Rick Ballantyne of Big Sky, who is the owner of a company called ScoreLA.com. And he creates all these incredible commercial sounds, the scores of music behind our shows, and that is a beautiful beginning he gave the Bridge to Health. I love that one. In fact, the one song that I really do love that was a canned song, and is a funny reason for it, is the Long Island View. Now, if you remember, and I remember, that originally there was a long song that was like a pumpkin song, or something had to do with something. And
something had to do with something
that had something to do with pumpkins. And I don't
How do you remember all that, that something has to do with something?
Something has to do with something. Like things begin to affect things.
Right.
But that song was presented to me, and of course it went on, and it was a beautiful beginning, way too long, until one day I got this idea, let me see where it came from. And actually it was a copywritten song, which, if you recall, every beginning was scrapped and brought in.
I think what happened with that, actually, is that you heard a commercial
on
television.
Right. We had a commercial with it.
And that's why you looked at the
copyright. Yeah, I remember jumping out of the couch with you that night. That's it. This has changed. And then we brought on the Medal song. And that Medal of Honor song is truly what fits the Long Island View so much better.
And I guess the point of that whole thing is that filmmakers need to realize what's copyrighted and what's not.
You know, that's very important.
They could very well be very well intended and creating a film, and they can wind up in trouble because they use a song that they didn't realize was copyrighted.
Really? Now,
and was not public domain.
Let me do this, and I'm going to pull up my phone for a reason, because I want to remember everybody here. Now, first of all, we have sponsors of all our shows, and in the Bridge to Health, we watch the Woodbury Show, which is sponsored by Marta Torres, Brookhaven by our own Tom Mealy, Riverhead by Kathleen Giamo. Now, those people are our associate producers who allow the shows in their area to come on. The Filmmaker Show, our very becomes me as for the Woodbury, Mr. Jim Donnell out of Brookhaven, Joseph Donnell, our cousins, sponsor the three areas there. I would say that Legal Straight Talk is sponsored by Jackie DeSimone, Dominic Chiarelli, and out in Riverhead, Natalie Boyle, who's always around when you need her. Woodbury, for the View, is James Eisert. In Brookhaven, it is Betty Tuffiorello. And in Riverhead, Sharon Cohen and Ron Wood. Now, the Bridge to Health can be seen on the primetime circuit, and that is on the Woodbury stations of Thursday, 8 p.m., the Brookhaven stations Tuesday at 10:30 a.m., and the Riverhead station at Thursday of 7:30 p.m. Legal Straight Talk is Wednesday at 9 p.m. in Woodbury. Brookhaven is Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. and in Riverhead, Monday at 11:30. The Long Island View is all Monday. In Woodbury, it is 11 a.m. Brookhaven, it is 10:30 a.m. and Riverhead, Monday at 8:30 p.m. Finally, our very own Filmmaker Show can be seen throughout all Long Island, one time, 2 o'clock in the afternoon on all Woodbury, Brookhaven, and Riverhead stations. Now, Michelle, that sounds so hard to understand. Have you ever wondered why there is a breakup like that?
No, because I know why.
No.
There's different Cablevision stations.
That's right.
One is out in Riverhead, one is Brookhaven, and one is Woodbury.
Right. And
thus, all these different divisions of where the shows are.
To better understand Long Island's Cablevision on the Optimum Online system, not FiOS, basically there are three cable companies. And if you looked at a map of Long Island, and I got to look at myself backwards here because I talk backwards. Long Island, the front of it's here with Queens, and it goes like this. There are three sections. So, the beginning from the Queens border, that's Queens, New York City's border, to about Comac and Smithtown is called the Woodbury Cable System. From there to Riverhead is called the Brookhaven Cable System. And from Riverhead to the Forks is the Riverhead System. Now, it doesn't go exactly north and south, which is why I was making that hand motion. It sort of like travels on a slight slant throughout Long Island. So, for example, Babylon and the areas of Islip are on the Brookhaven system, but sort of directly under another one, not to get confusing. But that's how they break up their region. Now, because they work with that umbrella, it is all Optimum Online on Long Island, and not many people realize because generally the feed, which comes from the flagships or the cable companies, garner the straight run through. Ours does not yet anyway. However, I'm proud to say that this show, the Filmmaker Show, is on the full feed at one time as a daytime magazine show. And how pleased are we?
Mondays at 2.
Mondays at 2. So I gave you all our inferences. I read to you some of the names. I think some of the people who put this show on are the most amazing people. So now I want to go into them. First of all, Michelle Parisi, thank you for you. I want to say thanks to Jackie DeSimone. You've been a friend forever, and you will continue being there, and your beautiful family. Some of the other people that never get thanked enough are Natalie Boyle, and some of the other people that I read earlier are just part of us to make it happen. But then there's that four, that eclectic four who I am so lucky to call the Madhouse family.
Because this is what they do.
Because that's what they do. And so let's start off with Tom Mealy. Tom is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. He's got a hard exterior, and he has to. He runs a major corporation, and he knows just what to do. When it comes to being electronically or digitally oriented, I haven't seen anybody yet. Now, he's married to one of the nicest people, Vicki Mealy, who's over in there, and she'll probably give me a quarter for saying this later. Thank you, Vicki. But Vicki is one of the probably best editors that you can find, her and Janine. And what they do is they sit for tireless hours editing right on the spot, and they pick up a sense of who's talking, where the camera should be, and it's almost second nature. They troubleshoot.
They're just so driven.
They do. They're driven. Vicki and Tom are a driven couple. Not to take away from Janine Zerilli, because Janine also works tirelessly on similar things. Yes. And together, Vicki and Janine are powerhouses that really run the I want to say the motor of the place.
The guts.
Now, we can't forget the iconic Tommy Marr. And why do we say that? Iconic. Because Tommy Marr, the music people he brings to this station are amazing. They've had people from every one of the big names.
From The Who.
From The Who, Billy Joel. I mean,
Vanilla Fudge.
Vanilla Fudge. More than that, Pat Benatar. I mean, you name it, they've been here. And the true reality is our green room has beautiful photographs of all of these amazing musicians that Tommy Marr brought in. And together, the four make an incredible, incredible team. So, to selfishly mention that there is going to be a big networking night here. And Vicki, when is that networking night? Because I had to remember so many things. That's November 15th, and it's from the afternoon to the evening, and it's posted. And what we at Madhouse would love you to do is come on over. Meet the team that puts this together. I'm sure a lot of us from the different shows will be here as well to talk about our shows, and we'll talk about Channel 20. And, you know, speaking of Channel 20, we're actually starting to invite guests from the shows on Cablevision Channel 20 on our show. We had Ed Ullman on, and he'll be in this cycle. Look forward to seeing some more of those shows on our show, because as filmmakers, we do filmmaking shows.
So the great thing about this open house for Madhouse is that if people want to have a show,
right,
they can come down, find out how it all works, and have your own show.
That's true. Now, let's just put a mention out there. They don't just take anything. And the team is inundated every day with DVDs. They get lots of requests for different things. But the people who are good, you know who you are. And those people, those are the people who deserve to talk, to come on to Madhouse TV. Now, finally, not to make this sound like a super duper commercial, which I don't want to do, we have to thank the team at Channel 20. the Bob Clements of the world, the Diane Bennetts of the world, the people there who take a tremendous amount of time and put our show, the Filmmaker Show, on the air for the different people who watch those 3 different areas of Long Island that we entertain. And while the numbers are never always stable, we garner a lot of pieces that watch the 4 shows. And I suspect there'll be more shows from Madhouse TV coming to you on Channel 20. And with that, is there anybody we've missed at all, Michelle? Anybody? From the Big Sky people, from Rick Ballantyne and Booley and all those people come along, to the wonderful people who make it here, like Tom Dow and Brett Harrison and Tommy Marr and the others. Anybody we miss?
Well, you know, Violet does a great job at Under the Big Sky. And she's also on Cablevision, even though she's not one of the shows that we produce.
That she produces
she's
on her
producing
own.
it on her own.
That's true. We should mention
Yes.
that. Right,
Yes.
right.
And Cheryl Dobbins is involved in that as
You know,
well
I'm so
as
glad you brought it
background.
up. Cheryl Dobbins is important too.
Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of people do our help, and they make these shows for Madhouse come through.
So
now,
I think the point you were making is not just you. It's a collective effort.
It is.
On the part of everybody.
It is. And these are the shows from Channel 20. But let me mention one thing, and then we got to get going. There are some tremendous shows here on Madhouse TV that we think you should know about. Date Night with Connie and Chrissy. And there is Shake It Up with Regina and Karen. And the Solori Glory Hour.
And the Frank Prince Show.
Frank Prince is another one. And how about the Benny Gagoots Show? You always
Absolutely.
wind up...
Absolutely.
I just say the
show.
name and I laugh. Benny Gagoots.
Yes.
Amazing people. Amazing
Yes.
shows. There are so many others that I'll be out of time if I start going through the whole thing. But the shows on Madhouse here, we're proud to be on Channel 20. We're proud to be part of that world. And with that...
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Michelle Parisi. My biggest asset is my beautiful wife, Michelle, who came on after a full year's of work behind the scenes, now here on Madhouse TV with me. So, finally, can we get the honors out there together? Thank you, Janine Zarilli, Tommy Marr, Vicki Mealy, and Tom Mealy. Without you, we couldn't even tell anybody about all of this. Good night, everybody.
Absolutely.
That's
Good night,
right.
everybody.
Good night, everybody.